Hello, hello, guys. Welcome to Coma Pirate Radio, where esoteric pirates bring their boats together, throw some ropes and tie some knots, and talk about some maps. This is Cosmic Dialogue. The one thing I saw when I looked into the heavens today that caught my eye is Lilith and how close this placement is to Mars. Now, Mars and Venus are both in Leo, and they're both in conjunction with Lilith. This makes a really sexy threesome. Now, I was like, of course Lilith wants to talk this really sexy primordial mother goddess, the dark, wild woman, the one that is here to help us free sacred sexuality. So close to Mars and Venus. Oh my goodness. And then I noticed she was sextile with Mercury. The DJ. She is controlling the music with her sex. Now, there is a bit of a square with Uranus. Now, why would there be tension with Uranus? Mars. Mars, did you forget the lube? Oh my God. Uranus is feeling a little bit of tension there. I can feel it. But there is a trine with Chiron. So there's definitely a healing aspect, you know. There is pain in healing. Now, Lilith wants to talk to us about the tension that we hold around sacred sexuality that has been programmed into us by this society. And what I see here is Mars is a really happy dog. Oh, Mars. Oh, my God. So let's talk about seduction. Let's talk about the sirens. Seducing your desires is just another way of saying the law of attraction. But doesn't it make it sound way more appealing than the law of attraction? Seduction of your desires. Would you like me to seduce you? Why, yes, please. With this trine with Chiron, I feel there's a lot of healing to be done here. So let's see what the cards have to say. Okay. In the center, we've got the Jack of Wands. The young fire spinner. Of course. Fire is passion. To explore sacred sexuality, you are esoterically playing with fire. This came out in my TikTok as well. Fire and water. Together, they can be hard to balance. And the fire can be dangerous. But so can a lot of water. And you know, it's the danger that makes it fun. It's what gets your adrenaline pumping. Why do you think people want to bungee jump and skydive and, you know, go whitewater rafting? Yes, raise that blood pressure. And Lilith really likes that. She is a voyeur watching Venus and Mars spin fire. Now, the Jack wants to remind us, because it's a young emotion, that this is a practice. And you're gonna get burned when you're learning how to spin fire. It's inevitable. But the more you play with fire, the better you get. So practice, practice, practice. So let's go to the ground. We've got to ground ourselves. And we got the Ace of Hearts, of Cups. Grounded in love. Always. In all ways. Love should be your anchor of your desires. Free love. Unconditional love. This is the ace, the sacred heart. What else is there to say? If you're not doing it with love, then for sure you're gonna get burned. This Ace of Cups represents the entire process of emotional life. It's about our perspective and how we feel about all of the situations that we're in. One thing that I've realized about the collective is the habit of putting down your exes. I know. It was bad. It was horrible. It hurt. And they did this. And they did that. And they said this. Well, you both did things to hurt the other. You cannot separate yourself as the holy one and the other as the narcissist. You've got to think of your ex relationships as an esoteric MMA fight. Shake hands afterwards. You guys learned a lot from that fight. Guaranteed. Now we're going to shoot up to the north, and we find the Four of Hearts. Yes. Just what we need to keep the mind in the stability of the Four. Stabilize your emotional state. I mean, breakdowns are gonna happen. It doesn't mean that you're not gonna swing from highs to lows. That is universal law. This Four is asking us to be able to ride our emotions like an expert upper-level dressage master. The horse under you may be blowing up, but inside, you are strong in your core, and you are able to hold the energy and ride it out, baby. Ride it out. In the east, we have the Ace of Swords. Another ace. Yes, this is the sextile with Mercury. The DJ wants to speak of the powers of the mind. Communication is the key to any good relationship. Now let's think back to the MMA fight. We can also call it a sword fight. Now, yes, I get it. Mars, he likes both of them. Some can be ugly and gruesome and bloody and, oh God, the god of war. But some, with the right person, that sword fight can be a lot of fun. Oh, yes. It's really all in how you're able to communicate. Oh, and Lilith wants to talk about the apple. The fruit of knowledge. I guess you could call that the Ace of Swords in the Adam and Eve story. All right, what do you want to say, Lilith? She says knowledge is not wisdom. You can know books and books and books of knowledge about something and not have the wisdom to use it. Like, if you've read all the books that you know of about martial arts, it's not going to help you. I mean, it'll help you a little, but I guarantee that first fight that you get into, you're going to get your ass beat. But that doesn't mean you give up. Yeah, knowledge is great. Read all those damn books, but practice as well. Practice in the ring, and don't give up. Keep fighting. Don't quit. I mean, unless you don't want to fight in the MMA. You know, it's whatever you want, baby. It's whatever you want. But Lilith tells me that she left because there was no wisdom backing the knowledge. Now, Lilith, you gots to be careful not to assume. You are speaking to Eve here, you know. I just recently decided that I liked you, Lilith. And I really worked hard to see another side of you other than just eating your own children. But I see your point. I do. Knowledge is great. It is very, very useful. But without wisdom, you know, it's only used in the academic world, in the secluded world of the scholarly. To really be able to communicate with the commoners, you want to talk to the people, you have to use wisdom. So let's go to the West. At the end of the day, we have the 10 of Swords, death. Here is the trine with Chiron. At the end of the day, the shaman knows that we're all going to die. No one can escape it. There is great healing to be understood when you contemplate death. We all know that. But what about our relationships throughout time? You know, the soul contracts from past lives. You guys have been in this MMA ring before, many times. And every time you learn more and more about yourself and about the other. It's called martial arts, the art of Mars. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mars really likes that one. And so does Coma, the center of mystic arts. Yeah. Let's look at the perspective that, you know, these relationships that you might deem as toxic, these relationships where you can think of yourself as being in that boxing ring, in that MMA cage, you know, it didn't kill you. Whatever fights you had made you stronger. So don't hate the other. We are all transforming. We are all changing. Change is the constant. Everything is always in vibration. The phoenix dies and rises over and over again. Death and birth, and death and birth. The alchemy of the soul. Thank you guys so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. And check out all my other content. I've got all the links below. I'm also on Patreon. If you can support us there, that would be wonderful. Whether you're traveling, physically or mentally, may it be in love, light, and shadow. And don't forget that lube for that square with Uranus.